Hey, Internet Connection here. We are at day 0.5 of the Scott and Heavens Mopars marathon of getting stuff running. Steven, well, that's Scott. There's Steven. You can kind of see him. It's already dark outside, so yeah, that's normal. Today's little ambitious project, get some subject, is a 1968 Dodge Coronet that has been parked since 1980 after Mount St. Helen decided to erupt on her. We're going to see if we can get this thing running.
It has ash all over it. Check this out. That's pure Mount St. Helens ash.
That's a lot of ash. So,
that's what she said.
Hit right. The first order of business is to pull my least favorite carburetor in the history of the planet off of this thing and see if we can get it cleaned up and functioning. Steven, what are you going to work on here?
I'm trying to clean up, I'm trying to find my wire brush so that I can turn around and clean up the terminals and wires and stuff like that and get us set up to where we have electricity.
To the car.
To the car. Although, reality, it'll be to me. So, carburetor. We got to play with points and condenser. And this car does not have an alternator. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of stuff. But it doesn't matter. Because all we need is some power and fuel and explosions. Let's get that carb off there. First order of business, while the carb's still bolted on, is remove this very, very good fuel line. There's our remote, there's fixed. And then that light over. So now that that is correctly taken off, I can, there we go, take the choke pull-off off, which I can't believe still functions, and remove the carb. To tell you the extensive amount of ash that is in this car, you can barely see the bolts that hold down this huge, huge single barrel carburetor.
I don't know how you turn it off. This power button here. Is that on?
Now that we've got some light on the subject,
just don't look at it.
I will. Another little tech tip thing. You got a carburetor that's been sitting for 155 years. Try to loosen up fittings while it's still on the car. It's a lot easier than trying to hold it in your lap. I'm going to bust the fuel line free. I might even break free or try to break the bulb screws open too. Maybe. Until then, we're going to vacuum this out because I want to try to prevent some of this from getting down the intake. Now that we've got the carb off, Scott's going to, you can go ahead. Scott's going to suck the rest of Mount St. Helens off of this thing. We're going to put this gasket on and put it on backwards and with staples in it. That's handy. I can't imagine the amount of intake or leak in this carb. But here's the carburetor. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look good. But for what it went through, not bad. So we'll get this thing sucked off here. We'll bring that into the shop and rip it apart. Lose half the parts for it. And we'll be back. You'll notice Steven is putting a black terminal for the negative that's on a red cable for the starter, because the black cable is going from the starter to the positive. It's really just better not to ask questions at this point.
I didn't do it.
You did it.
all
trying
I've
to
got
blind
to say
everybody.
is why in the heck would we mess with perfection when it's already there?
That's accurate.
No, that's all it is to it.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that.
But if you look at it, the nice long wire is over there, and so it makes sense.
It does.
Lengthwise.
Oops, don't lean on your windshield wiper bottle.
I have a spare one because of that. Probably pull that thing off. We gotta see if that starter even works.
That's why I'm cleaning this up.
Okay. That's why he's cleaning it up. You heard it here first, folks.
We could take.
I may have to just cut this end off and just
Oh yeah, show
redo
the ground cable.
Oh yeah,
The grounding strap. Check
that's
this out.
that's what's left of the ground strap. That's factory. This is where we
I'm
watch.
getting some shiny.
This is where Steven has a mildly shiny palm now. Alright. Steven's removing the positive negative cable off of the block that's now the positive ground of negatives. Don't ask. I think that
It's positively negative.
is positively negative. It is not 4th Street.
Do not do this at home. Hence why we drove so far.
Yeah. Yeah, when you don't want to do stupid stuff at home, you drive 2,000 miles to do it. You can't get yelled at.
Shoot.
I would much rather work on your stuff than mine.
Yeah,
I mean, being honest, it's cheaper.
I appreciate the help.
Well, I guess not in the fuel. But still.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a YouTube channel about cars, but I'm like, I have a severe passion for Mopars, but when it comes to knowledge, I think we all have our strengths and weaknesses. I have all these cars, but they're all dead. And
We all do, Scott. We all do.
But if I knew how to make them run, you know, my strength, you know, I can turn a wrench and whatever, I can do the brakes and blah, 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 but when it comes to electrical, I'm kind of clueless. And so I'm like, I have no idea.
That's why we got a Steven.
Yeah.
That's the Stevens thing.
That's why they call me Sparky.
Well, we are now.
There you go.
I gotta say, I have never worked on a car where we had ash everywhere. Like it's floating around from us moving stuff around. That's just a new one.
Yeah, hold your breath.
So the first bit of good news. I'd say that's good news. Next. I got another victim, guys. Somebody subscribed. I just got a notification.
Oh, nice. Congrats. You're rocking it.
Hey, thanks.
Okay. Not good, but not bad. I mean, it is fouled, but there is a bit of grime in around the porcelain. So
What's that mean to the people that don't know?
it's got carbon buildup, oil buildup.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to want to change those out.
Also, somebody who does not do slant 6 stuff put these spark plugs in.
Yeah, they left these on.
Ding, ding, ding.
Those don't belong on slant 6s?
Not on ones that have the drool tubes that go into the head.
Yeah.
That is the gasket. I don't even know if I got that on there, but is it over there?
Nope.
There's the drill
There it
tube right here.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Remember, guys, if they have the tube gaskets on these slant 6s or the Hemis, you do not use the gasket that comes with the spark plug.
It was like that. These poor things.
If you ever feel like you're in a shop with the most strict boss ever, a supervisor,
The tube is coming out.
look no farther.
They're both stuck together.
Always watching.
Oh, rusty? Oh, yeah. Hello.
It's got some more carbon on it, but not too bad.
It's kind of a first.
We are spraying some stuff in the cylinders of this thing because this thing has been sitting since 1980. So, give it all the help we can get.
Okay.
Get the rest of these things done here. One of the downsides of the slant 6 is if you need to do anything to that distributor, well, you don't have to pull them out. But I'm going to because the rotor won't come off. There seems to be a lot of play in that shaft. If you don't know, these slant 6s had a plastic or nylon gear that was driven by the cam, and they're known for braking. And I'd rather pull it out and make sure it's not going to do that before we mess with this. Get this thing out of here and show what we got. With the distributor out, more of Mount St. Helens on this thing. This would be the gear I'm talking about. It says made out of nylon, and after a couple thousand years they like to crack. So we are going to put this back together, but out of the car, clean up the points and condenser. So we're all working on 68 Coronet, Side 6, and I don't remember if I've ever worked on a distributor that was covered in ash from a volcano. But here I am. I'm going to put a new condenser in it. Points already have them out. We'll oil the inside of the shaft. Oil the cup. You've seen me do that before. Goes back in the car. Then I've knocked most of the ash off of the Holly 1920. Let's see if I can clean the thing up. We did get a kit from Riley's, and yeah, let's just get this thing together here. I'll show you what I can. Got a new condenser on here. I'm going to clean off the cam. It's supposed to have some kind of special cam lubricant. Maybe I can find some white lithium grease or something to lube this up. I definitely don't want to use oil though, because if it spins, it's going to get in the contacts of the points. Find something a little heavier than that. Right, get these points in, get them set. I've cleaned this thing up as much as I possibly can with the time we have, because we have other stuff to do. And see if we can get this thing to fire up. Wait. Never mind, I just have to do that. Ugh. We couldn't find a feeler gauge. And then the slant 6s, you're aiming for 20,000s points gap. Brewers Racing business card happens to be very close. It's just under 20,000, so it'll actually work. Usually they say matchbooks, but nobody smokes anymore, so that sucks. So we're setting the points. I'm going to go on top of the cam lobe. Open up in between. Find another 4 hands to work. I agree.
Never fails.
That's okay. Those the guard dogs, just so you know. This should just slide in between. When you do this, you want to check every lobe, make sure it's the same. So check to make sure nothing's bent. All 6 of them. So thanks Brewer Racing for having almost exact right thickness business card. 3 points. Who would have known? I tell you, I learn something new every day. So we have the condenser in. Points are set. Now, Stephen Holtz made this wire. Just drive it. Because the factory wire was toast. I guess the thing got a little warm in the volcano. So we're going to run a new wire through this thing. Maybe get some RTV to plug up this hole so it doesn't take Mother Nature into it. And then oil the shaft, oil the oil cup, the bottom bushing, clean up this carb. This thing's started on my tripod, so all I got left to do on this, put a little bit of grease. They actually make cam grease for this, but I don't have any. So wheel bearing grease it is. You definitely don't want to use oil though, because that'll just sling off and get in everything that it's not supposed to be in. Oh, that was great. Make sure you get on as much stuff as possible that it doesn't belong on. The lights sit there. I guess this one's done for now. Sweet. Next. I guess this would be called the Mount St. Helens Holly 1920. This thing is plugged solid. That is impressive.
Yes. We're over Spokane. It's calling for 103 degrees.
Oh yeah, I should mention that. We were at Scott's of his Wolpars in Spokane Valley. And for whatever reason, it's not going to be 100 degrees today. So, we're trying to get this done as fast as we can, or as much done as quick as we can. This is definitely not going to be a card rebuild how-to. This is going to be getting the garbage out of this thing and trying to show you as much as I can. Okay, it's restored. Sure. Float, thank you. Spring. Still moves. Doubt it's so good though. Side. I want to try to knock up as much stuff as I can as I go so it's not getting in anything that is important. I'm going to pull out the main jet, but I'm going to do that before I loosen up these screws, because it's easier to take off. That's actually clean, surprisingly. Okay. Keep track of where these screws go because they are different depths. I believe the two center ones are the longest. These two corner ones are different length too. I've messed this up before. It sucks. Oh, before I do that, almost forgot. I'm going to take this off. That way when it pulls through, it can you can clean it off, but it can spin over cam to let it out of the thing. And this linkage does not come out of here first. You have to pull it out of here to spin it around. That. I think it's trying to get me. I'm gonna leave it in the one it was in. This is more of a cleanup job. What'd you find?
Okay, a 318 vacuum advance with the straight arm will work on a slant 6.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But it has to be the point style one because it has a straight arm.
It's just unfortunate that I have like 3 of those at home. Too bad I'm 1,800 miles from home.
Yeah.
I don't know where Scotland is, but usually what I could do, I'll lay them in the order that they go into the or whatever it is, and I'll take a piece of tape and just tape it to the table. They know which order they go in. Here's you. Get behind this thing and pop it out.
Your line's fixed.
That's relatively clean, but you want to pull these apart. As like you can see inside here, this port's completely plugged. There's actually a plug here. I don't know if that comes in this new kit. I'll look, make sure. At the side. On this, it's actually still good, but I'm going to replace it anyways. The reason I mentioned I don't like these carburetors, by the way, is this is a diaphragm. The fuel is obviously on this side of it. If this diaphragm splits, there's nothing stopping it from coming out of the back of the carburetor, because that just goes right into the thing. You'll see it when I pull it out. And being this is a straight 6, the intake's obviously right here, but the exhaust manifold is under that. So if it comes spraying out of it, it goes in the exhaust. That's why I'm not a fan of these 1920s. But that's what we got. So here we are. See how it cams over? It's sitting like this. If you take the rod off, you can pull it right through the end of it and should be able to slide it out. But I'm doing YouTube, so it won't. Yeah, there it goes. There's that much crap in it. Alright, I always look to see which spring is here because the kit will come with multiple springs. And I don't think this one's ever been apart. I had one apart on my wife's car that had somebody put the spring on the wrong side of it. And had I not known or had a book to look at, I would have put it back together just as wrong as it was the last time. Watch your eyes. Oh. So there's no way for me to show you this well, but here is a trick. If you look down inside where the fuel nozzle spray, fuel will come out of each end. If one of them is plugged, this one is plugged, take your flathead screwdriver and plug the end of the one that is not plugged, and you can spray through the metering hole and it'll force it out. That chunk just landed right here on the inside of that thing. That's actually a bug. That's cool.
That's one of the bugs you knocked out.
Is it alive?
Yes.
Something's alive in this thing. That's kind of gross.
Like dying. Like, you need to calm down, Rusty.
Hey, it makes vacuum sounds. It's sucking. Woohoo!
It's sucking?
Nice.
It's sucking.
Yeah, we got some carburetor stuff going on here. Guys are like going to town.
I wouldn't call this a carburetor. I think you're over exaggerating.
I think you would call it a controlled leak.
I think I missed that part.
Yeah, that's
A
exactly.
semi-controlled
That is exactly
leak.
what this is.
A controlled leak with controlled seepage.
That sounds worse. Right, I've got an eyeball of what I'm setting the float. I can't find the spec for it. On these floats, though, on these Holley 1920s, they actually absorb fuel. So you're supposed to weigh them. I think they're supposed to weigh like 12.5 ounces or grams or something like that. I'll look up the numbers. And if they get heavier, you adjust accordingly, adjust it up because it's going to sink into the fuel. Why Holley use something that absorbs gas as a float? Yeah, 1920 stuff.
Okay, what we've got now is we're actually going to show Scott and a couple others what we did to test our spark on our new points. I actually ran a hot wire over from the coil over there because we don't want to mess with the other stuff right now. We have a relay that's out, all that kind of stuff. One of the things we're looking at is Jason is going to go right there, and he's going to make contact. We got power, and y'all hear that? Y'all see that? Just by moving it just a little bit, I'm getting spark at the contacts on the points. We have spark. We just took it off. Now, we're doing this to start it and to do the initial run, but normally you want it going through your ballast resistor on the Mopars or through your resistor line on your Fords. I'm not sure on the Chevys.
I believe the GMs have a their wire for the distributor is a resistor wire
as well.
Right.
So to drop the voltage once you're running, because you want 12 volts to start, but it drops it back down when you're actually running your points. Otherwise, you burn up the head of the points. So all we've got to do now, we can put the rotor back on, distributor cap back on. Now we got that. We'll bring out the fuel cell, line up the fuel cell, and we got a few more things to do, and then we should be able to try to crank this sucker up.
I mean, Mount St. Helen didn't melt it.
No, I mean it didn't.
So hopefully this wire doesn't.
Mount St. Helens, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
It leans up against it.
I mean, it looks factory. It's a gasser look.
All right. So you ready for fuel?
Well, I touched the carb, so no. Go ahead. See what happens. We're going to see where it leaks.
I wonder if the drive line is in. The one from my Super V.
This should be getting fuel.
It's a quiet pump compared to the one on Stone Soup.
How did I get a good shot in here?
Yeah, it's dripping.
Oh, probably should go the right way, right?
I see fuel in there, and it pumped.
We're spurting.
And
let it sit for a minute. Advanced it, retarded it.
came this way, so
See what it does. Let's have a look-see. Ready? Ouch. Put a pump on.
Alright, sorry.
Too late.
Well, it ran. Hold on, let me do this. Because I've got to do two things at once. So
What? Come on, man.
Burn the car down. Yeah, it's starts.
Check underneath to see how many leaves are burning.
okay. Let's see.
Scout's right behind. Okay.
Got the biggest hole in the muffler.
Ready?
Yep. That's ridiculous. Got some ring stock for sure. Timing's a little bit advanced.
Go back the other direction?
Yeah, maybe just a touch. Still a little bit. It's a good thing my ears don't work.
Okay.
What?
It smells like something's dead.
You seen some of the stuff come out here when we started?
Ready?
Definitely retarded now a little bit. This good returns a touch more. Holy Mikey.
We did put lubricant in it. One wheel feel.
Advanced with the touch.
Alright, give me a second. I gotta go over
You
there.
can't let it run too long, it's got no water in it.
Yeah. Alright. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I moved it just a touch.
Yes. Good smoke.
A one pipe peel out.
I don't think it's a pipe. Oh, it does.
Yeah, that's a one tire, or one exhaust.
Man, that reeked though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice. You guys are awesome.
1980.
What do you think Kelly's gonna say when she sees that
The bugs are gone?
it ran?
She'll be ecstatic.
Now,
She'll be jealous because her car right next to it be like, okay, mine's next. I'm like, no problem.
yeah, she wants that one on the road. I don't blame her.
License.
Okay, we're gonna need the relay, the ignition switch.
There's nothing burning in there, is there?
Look.
Yeah.
Got 2 broken bolts though.
I try to label things and keep things together. It comes in so handy. 68 Coronet seat belt. 68 Coronet.
Oh, we're golden now, guys.
We even have a,
Oh, nice.
there's even a, yeah.
What are we looking for again?
The alternator bracket.
Alternator brackets.
My mirror.
And there's the switch.
There's an ignition switch.
Oh, no way.
Well, it's not for this, but what is that
No,
for?
it's not.
Here's my crack. So
Fair.
actually, it was in the frame rails when I redid the floor.
We got an idea, guys. Scott needs money for the No-Name Nationals. He will sell you pieces of Mount St. Helen for $10 a bag.
I'll break it down.
It's a dime bag, but it's inflation.
Yeah.